The race leaders are coming right at you down the backstretch at Homestead-Miami Speedway as we are now working lap 110 of 200. And it is Carl Edwards, Jeff Burton, Kyle Busch, that top three. And as we take a look at our Holiday Inn race summary, we've had a total of 6 leaders, 13 lean changes, and our average speed is now 120 plus some change. 25 cars on the lead lap right now. We've had 19 laps under caution during those 5 caution periods. And of course, Kyle Busch, as soon as he started the race, was crowned our new Nationwide Series champion. And there he is, our in-race reporter, running third. And in fact, if he stays in that third position, he can fall back as far as 4th. And he would break his 8th record of the year by scoring more points than has ever been scored in Nationwide Series history. And that may be a mark. I mean, that's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, he said a lot that's going to be tough to beat. I can tell you, it's just a phenomenal season he's had.
So while he's got his hands full right now, he's 1.6 seconds behind our race leaders. You look from high above in the Goodyear blimp, and that's what it looks like. They're the first 3. Looking down the backstretch, that's Carl at the bottom of the screen, Jeff Burton second, and Kyle Busch third. That's the gap. And it's been amazing, the ebb and flow of this race. Burton started out the race falling back, then he took control of the race, and now all of a sudden, Carl, after getting the valence fixed, falling back to 38th, he's come back to the front.
Yeah, and then we saw Joey Logano actually get out front. Looked like he was going to be the dominant car, and now we're looking, he's running 4th.
So there has been some definite storylines that nobody, I don't think, expected this to happen as the race progressed. But it has been interesting and exciting. And in fact, we've even had the incident that got Denny Hamlin a lap down. He is now back on the lead lap. In fact, is now running 16th on the racetrack.
And look at Carl fight this car. That's got to be tough to run that close to the wall, Dale, and have to fight the car that much.
Yeah, you just have to be up on the wheel so much right there, because any little slip, we can see Carl, watch his hands. He's just really fighting this thing through here. He's getting himself a little extra room right there. When you get your car to turn a little bit and you can drive a little straighter off, it gives you a little extra room.
Well, since the race has settled down, it's a great time for us to get you up to speed with Nationwide Insurance. And Vince, you're up, buddy.
Well, you saw Carl Edwards fighting it, but he has certainly not complained about the race car. In fact, he spoke highly of that last adjustment. It's driving as well as it's driven throughout the course of the night. Remember, this was an important race for this team. They're the defending race winner, trying to go out on a victory. They had hoped to win the championship, fell short of that goal, working with a new crew chief and Mike Kelly, just their 3rd race together. Kelly's still auditioning, so a lot riding on this race for Carl Edwards and this team. So far, so good for the 60. Jamie?
Well, Vince, 1 year ago, this very racetrack, this 29 team, actually back then they were the number 2 team. Same crew chief, Dan Deeringhoff. They were going for the championship with Clint Boyer. They were on the edge. They had to make their marks perfect to win the championship. You see Dan on the right. So now they have nothing to lose. They're here just to win. What a relief. You see Dan just sitting back and enjoying the night. Right now, he just needs grip. Dave?
The 18 bunch as well, Jamie, didn't have anything to lose. They had the championship locked up when Kyle started the race. So Jason Ratcliffe told me this morning, you know what, we even joked about trading jobs. They wanted me to go over the wall as a tire changer. Somebody else was going to be the crew chief for this. And then we thought, nah, that'd be fun, but what would be the best way to celebrate? Maybe coming here and dominating. Well, they haven't been able to do that. I don't think they're going to be switching jobs, but the idea was that do what we do, and they're trying to get this 18 car righted to do that, Vince.
Well, and running 4th is Joey Logano, also out of the Gibbs camp, and he has a recent change at crew chief as well, because his former crew chief, Dave Rogers, on that 20 car is now Kyle Busch's crew chief on the Cup side. So Doug Hewitt handling the call for Logano. Just their 2nd race working together this season. So they're really going off what Joey learned last year. Now, last year they started too tight at the beginning of the race, and it cost them because they were way too tight late in the race. They started much freer today, and even though he says it's a little tight right now, it's been a good run so far for Joey Logano. Now, the 33 of Ryan Newman, this is a brand new car for KHI, Kevin Harvick. They continue to make strides in this nationwide program. Of course, KHI won the driver and owner titles in the Camping World Truck Series. They've won twice in the Nationwide Series. Harvick ran 2nd himself last week at Phoenix, and it's another good run for the 33 today as Ryan Newman is in the top 5. Shannon?
Yeah, Vince, it's also a great run for Scott Speed in the 99 car. Told you earlier, this is his first nationwide start here at Homestead, working with Jerry Baxter in this 99 car. This car will go to young Trevor Bayne next season, but these guys definitely want to end it on a high note. got to work on that tight car condition. You know that they'll come down pit road and make it work next time. For David Rudiman in that 32 car right next to Scott Speed, looking to make the move to go around him. David says he just can't make the car do anything he wants it to do right now. He said the car is very bad getting into the turn. Now, they were hoping when the sun went down, this car would start to come to him. The sun is down, and the car has not come just yet. Now, Jason Leffler also in that party right now. He's finished third in 2 of the last 3 races. That did not include last week. It was a 27th place finish last week. Currently in the top 5. This team would love to go out with a bang here in Homestead. Jason loves this racetrack. He's so excited to be with this team, and they hope to get it done here in Homestead this evening. Jamie?
Matt Kenseth behind him in the 16 car, running 9th right now, but he said on that last pit stop, they decided, no, we're not going to make any changes. Let's just put 4 tires on and try to see if it gets better. Matt said that was not the right thing. He said with all the dirty air out there, this car is not performing like it was. They should have made a change, and they put scuffs on, and he doesn't like those either, Dave.
10th place going to Brad Keselowski, getting pressure from Eric Darnell. Right now, his car feels like there's oil on the right rear. It's that loose. They wanted to come out of here with a top 10 at least. They haven't finished worse than that or outside the top 10 since Chicago in July, trying to keep that streak alive. Marty?
And Eric Darnell is in 11th, trying to put a little pressure on Brad Keselowski, and he's right up on him.
I'll tell you, there's something wrong with Keselowski's car because he had run down Matt Kenseth, and I believe he's gotten that right rear tire maybe worn completely out from trying to work his way back up because he's lost a lot of ground here in the last few laps.
Yeah, we saw him earlier in a run strike out pretty fast as the tires were fresh, and then his car really fell off late in the run, so it looks like he's doing the same thing.
Well, a total of 25 cars still on the lead lap. 9 cars are out of this race. There's your top 5, and we still have 78 laps to go. Carl Edwards out in front by half a second. Working lap number 128 here at the Ford 300 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Carl Edwards now has a 4/10 of a second lead. Let's listen in on his radio.
Pretty fun racing right there.
He's having fun. I think that was back when he was slicing and dicing his way to the lead.
When they were 3 and 4 wide for the lead, and he's the one that came out on top.
Well, Kyle Busch is in 2nd place. Now 3rd place, I should say. Jeff Burton in 2nd.
Why is this the 60th best track? Or Olive Roush for that matter? I really don't understand it. Because like Kansas or Chicago or places like that, they don't run like this, you know? All the mile and a half. They haven't done anything.
But they have done it here. And I mean, Carl won here last year and is leading right now. And Kyle's right, though. He's been the top performer on the mile-and-a-half tracks with 3 wins and 8 top 5s in 9 races. Carl's 3rd on that list with 2 top 5s, no wins in 9 races.
You know what I think is funny about that? That's Kyle talking under green. Yeah, that wasn't under caution. You could hear the engine running. I mean, he's talking about this just driving around under green.
And we'd get back to him under caution or something, let him know if we knew. But it is amazing how Roush and their whole organization, both the Cup Series and Nationwide, have such a phenomenal record here.
How about Todd Brown's team? There is Jason Leffler and the 32 of Rudiman right behind him there. And let's take it back just a little bit earlier, and this will make an owner get a few gray hairs.
Easy.
Whoa.
Close call.
And then this is the same lap, just a little bit later.
That's the old slide job.
Yikes.
Well, and when
Man,
you're
that was close.
And when you've run as many midget races as Leffler has, you know that slide move.
He had a bigger car to put that in. That was a hole for his midget car, and he made it for his stock car.
Well, on board with Jason. He is solidly in the 4th position in the points this year. The only thing missing, as was pointed out earlier when we were going through the field, is that he just has not been able to find victory lane this season.
No, he hasn't, but a great run here tonight up in that 6th spot right now, moving forward, going the right direction.
He is 10.9 seconds right now behind race leader Carl Edwards, running in that 6th position with David Rudiman right behind him.
Yeah, we're coming up on green flag pit stops here before too long. 8-10 laps or so.
Yeah, and they'll do something a little different, something they haven't ever done. They've always had to use the access road coming in off as you go into turn 3 to make their way to pit road. NASCAR's changed the rules. They'll be allowed to come off of turn 4 right to pit road.
And I want to preclude that, get you ready, because when we came here for the IndyCar races over the past few years, people like Tony Kanaan, Danica Patrick, using that same pit entrance, spun out, crashed, put themselves out of the race. It might happen again. Stay with us.